Hi everyone, now we are going to present one of the video about intercultural business negotiation. First of all, I will introduce and explain the role of my group member. Me as the narrator, then Clayton as the director, Cheryl as the secretary, Axel as the intellectual property consultant, Melissa as the Indonesian Ambassador 1, Natasha as the Indonesian Ambassador 2, and Jemima as the Indonesian Ambassador 3. Now, I will explain a little about cross-cultural management. Cross-cultural management is the study of management in a cross-cultural context. It includes the study of the influence of social culture and manager and management practice, as well as the study of the cultural organization of individual managers and organization members. It is said that there were several entrepreneurs who came from Singapore that want to open a business in Indonesia. Before that, they made an appointment with Indonesian ambassador using video call regarding the condition that must be obeyed when they want to start their business in Indonesia.
Good afternoon, Miss. I am Clayton, the director of Subway. Thank you in advance for taking your time. In this meeting, we would like to ask about the terms and conditions, also the regulation that we need if we want to open a business in Indonesia.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Melissa, and I am the Embassy of Indonesia, and I will guide you so you cannot confused by how to register your business in Indonesia. But first, can you tell me more detail about your company?
Good afternoon, Miss. My name is Cheryl, as the Secretary of Subway. Let me explain what is Subway. Subway is a fast food restaurant that primarily sells sandwich, salads, and other beverages. Subway is a pioneer in the non-traditional fast food category, and our company does not offer commonly offered fast food such as hamburger, pizza, or fried chicken. Subway opened their restaurants in places like convenience stores, petrol stations, and rest area, which also allowed them to expand rapidly.
Okay, thank you, Cheryl, for explaining our company briefly. My name is Axel, as the intellectual property consultant. Can you explain to us what are the requirements we must have before we open our business in Indonesia?
Let me answer your question one by one. First, you need to prepare the document that include trademark, statement of mark owner, and power of attorney.
Okay, so we have prepared all the data. Are there any laws that we should know and must obey?
Of course, according to Article 52, Paragraph 2, or Law Number 20 of 2016 concerning marks and geographical indication, application for registration of international mark can only be filled by applicants who have Indonesian citizenship, applicants who have domicile or domicile in territory of the Republic of Indonesia, or applicant that has industrial or commercial business activity in the territory of the Republic of Indonesia.
Okay then. Does our company need to register our trademark again? And even if we re-register our brand company, do our products have to be checked for the formulas of our products at BPOM?
The trademark, you need to know that the protection of trademark right is territorial. Thus, if the trademark is to be given legal protection in Indonesia so that it cannot be used by other parties, then the trademark must be registered at the Directorate General of Intellectual Properties in Indonesia.
Okay, then thank you for the information. We will prepare this document and then we will email it to you immediately.
Okay, so how about business culture in Indonesia? Is there anything we should know?
Yes, first, business culture in Indonesia has a hierarchical system that can be seen from most of the business environment, where those who are in higher position will be called with the title sir or ma'am and followed by their name. This is to show respect for those in higher position.
Meanwhile, people in lower position should be able to follow the demand of those in high position without a question. This is because most employees or workers in Indonesia prefer to remain silent rather than have to correct their superiors, even though they make mistakes. This is because they don't want to experience confrontation, position, and condition that could cause discretion or problem at work, because a comfortable workplace is everything for Indonesia.
Oh, I see. It's not too different from the business culture in Singapore. In Singapore, we also avoid arguing, correcting, or publicly disagreeing with older people, or supervisor. Because most of older people or supervisor in Singapore will simply lose face, and as a result, you will lose respect from others.
Also, one of the distinctive culture of Indonesian nation is mutual cooperation. This is an added value in doing business in Indonesia because besides making your work finish quickly, mutual cooperation can also create a sense of empathy between colleagues, which will certainly have a positive impact on the mood of your team.
Wow, that's very nice for us to know so that it can be useful when we run our business. If so, is there anything else we should know about business culture in Indonesia?
Maybe so far this is enough about business culture in Indonesia. For incomplete document can be sent to our email. For things that are still unclear or information that you want to know, we can discuss it in the next meeting.
Now we reached the end of our video. Hope this video will give you a useful information about business culture between Indonesia and Singapore. Thank you for your attention.